Hey, what's up everybody, and welcome to the second part of this video series where I'm going to show you how you can automate the evaluation of some data from your processes or machines in the production. So last time I already talked about the whole setup of the process. So after your machine or your process has created some log files and has saved them, for example on a network attached storage, you will now have to copy these log files to some location where they can be accessed by the database on the server. So in this video I will cover this copy job, and yeah, let's get started. So when you download the files either from GitHub and compile them yourself, or you just download them from my website, you will get a few folders, and one of them is called CopyJob, and in here we got three important files. So the first one is the general CopyJob.exe, and this is the actual program that will copy the files from, in our case, it would be the network attached storage, or in the case of this tutorial, it will be a virtual machine I'm running Windows on, and it will copy it, in this case, to my desktop. And we also got an XML file called configuration, and in this file we can set up all the parameters for our copy job. And so I'll just open this, and if you downloaded it, you can go right ahead and edit it with me. So yeah, you can adapt it according to your needs. The first variable we got is the number of the synced days. So yeah, you can put in whatever you want. In my example, I got 8 days, so it will synchronize the last 8 days from the virtual machine to my desktop on my local computer, and all the files that are older than 8 days on my local machine will be deleted. The network attached storage, or the place where your machine or process stores it, will not be affected by this. And the second parameter is the console status. So if we got a 0 here, we won't have any output. If we got a 1, and this is good if you want to set up the whole job and see what's actually going on, you can put a 1 in here, and then you will get some process status comments. Third is a Decrypt key, and so if we go further down, if we want to connect to our network attached storage, or in my case to the virtual machine, we have to log in there with a username and a password. And since the whole configuration XML file will probably lay on a server or somewhere where a lot of people can see them, I don't want to store my password in clear text, and so I'll have an extra key with that. If you go back to the folders you downloaded, you will also find one folder called cryptography. If you go in there, you only got one small program. It kind of looks like this, and this is not really good encryption if you want to protect something very important, but yeah, it's enough to cover it, so not everybody who sees this configuration file immediately knows your password. So in here you can write a text. In my case, my password is 123, and I use the key meow here, and if I encrypt it, I'll get this text, and this text can then be put here as a login password. And in case we execute the copy job, he will do exactly the opposite. So he will only have the text here and have an decryption key, and he will decrypt it and then use the clean password 123. And yeah, you can do it with whatever you like, encrypt it and get your own password. That's what you do with the cryptography exe. And okay, let's get back to the configuration file. So in here Last thing we got are the folders we want to synchronize. In my case, I only want to synchronize one folder. In case you have multiple machines, multiple processes, you can just add new lines here and adapt them according to the pattern of the first line. I got an example here. If you're working in a domain, in my case, I'm working in a work group, and so this will work for my setup with the virtual machine. You can give every job a name, and this is however you like it, just that you know which job it is. After that, you'll have to give it a source path. So where's the path where the log files should come from? And for this, in my case, I'll go to the virtual machine. I got it here, and I have a small program set up called create log files, and if I click it and execute it, it will create some log files with random numbers for me and stores it under this path, so C, user, and so on, in log files. And this path here is exactly the path I put into this configuration file. And the only difference is, of course, since we're in a work group, we have to use the name of the computer we got here. So if I go to my virtual machine, the computer is called Win7 64-bit Service Pack 1, and so this is the name I put in here, and after that I'll put the path to the log file. The third parameter for every file I want to copy is the destination path. So where do I want to copy it? And in this case, I only want to copy it to my desktop. So I put in here C, user, my name, and then to the desktop. And after that, I will have to put one parameter for the login user that should be used, and in this case the user is called Win7 64-bit Service Pack 1, and the login password we already covered. You can encrypt or decrypt it with the program you can also download. And in case you're not in a work group but you're in a domain, you can also add the domain name in here, and in this case you'll probably need to replace the computer name with the IP address of the computer. After we did this, we can save the file and go back to our folder on the local machine. And if we go to CopyJob, we only got one file left, and it's called general DLL. And this is just, it includes some general methods that are used by the CopyJob. For example, to decrypt the password or to create some log files in case something goes wrong, it will log the exceptions. And now let me open a second window. So if we go to the desktop, so the place where we want to create the log files, and then also go to the CopyJob folder and just execute the general CopyJob.exe, we should see that here we got the log files we just created on the virtual machine and copied them to our local machine. So you probably don't want to do this by hand every day. So last thing I'm going to show you in this video is how you can create a scheduled task to do this regularly for you, so you can do this every day, every hour, however you like. So since my my local computer is set up in German, I will show it to you on my virtual machine. So to set up a scheduled task, you go to the control panel, then go to administrative tools, and here you will have the task scheduler. There it is. If you open it, could be that we have to open it as administrator, so I'll just do that just in case. And if you go here to your task scheduler library, you can see that there are no tasks created yet. So you can then click on create a task and give it a name. For example, CopyJob, short description if you like. And you will probably have to run this whether the user is logged on or not. And in this case, if you click this, you will have to provide some login credentials in the end, but he will ask you for that if you click OK. After that, you go to the trigger and you can create a new trigger. And in this case, like I said, you can choose whatever you like. Most of the time I did this daily. So whenever I arrive at work tomorrow, everything's already done. So you can choose here daily, choose the starting date and set it up for somewhere in the middle of the night. So it starts running before you get to work. You want to repeat this every day. And yeah, that's already it. Click OK. Go to actions, and here you can tell them what you want to do. So in this case, you want to start a program, and what you want to start is of course the CopyJob.exe. And since I don't have it on the virtual machine yet, let me just very quickly drag and drop the whole folder over here. Obviously it doesn't work. Activate it. And here we go. In this case, if we want to execute it, we'll have to change the path. And so let me just quickly choose the desktop here and create a new folder. And we want to put the log files there, let's say. And so as the destination path, we change this part here. And since we don't have to log in anymore, so we got our log files in this folder. So that's the one we want to copy them from. So that's our source path. We got it here. And since we're already on the computer, we don't have to log in anymore, so we don't need the password or the username to log in. Let's just save it, and that's already it. And what we want to do then, again, in the schedule task is to start a program. Here we choose the exe file. I just copy it to my desktop. So CopyJob, general CopyJob.exe. We don't need to pass any additional arguments or anything else. So that's it. Yeah, I've never set up some new conditions, so let's just skip that. And I always choose this. I've never had the problem that it was running for more than an hour. That just in case, I just set it all the time. And then if you click OK, now like I told you, he will ask for the username, and here I'm already logged in as the admin and use the password 123. Say OK, and then you can take a look at the list here, and yeah, it will tell you basically everything you just put in there. So we can see here it never run. So let me minimize this. If we go to our folder here, we can also see there are no log files yet, and if it's 3 AM in the morning, it will basically run the job. So let's just test it, and now we see here he created the files for us, and he will do this every day, every hour, however you set it up. He will always have the exact 8 documents, so in case you got it running the next day again, and you let me just quickly go back to the configuration. So these 8 log files correspond to this number here. So in case you will run it tomorrow again, and today is the 10th, tomorrow will be the 11th, and so here he will have the log file of the 11th and therefore delete the log file from the 3rd, so the folder won't get too big, and you can increase, decrease this number however you like. So yeah, that's it for this copy job video. In case you got any questions or comments, please let me know. Otherwise, just thank you very much for watching and have a nice evening. Bye.